Alright, greetings and salutations everyone. It is once again I, Samius. No camera tonight. I'm not feeling super well, so just going to record a couple of videos here. But I was looking through the quest list and our level range. Now we take in level 6 and we actually need to jump to level 4 quests, so we're going to start with the Sharn Syndicate chain. It's a little quest chain in the marketplace. Pretty good. A lot of really good low level weapons come out of it. And it's pretty easy peasy, so we'll buzz through it here. The first quest is in the Dragon Tail Saloon. Stand your ground. Summon my level 6 fighter here. We are going to summon Ellery as well, just right off the bat to take care of a little business. Our fighter's going to go into melee mode and we're going to break a bunch of stuff. Huh, that's not where I parked my car there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put Ellery on guard this man duty. Get him up there. And then we're going to put our fighter on guard his duty. And we're going to stand up here and shoot things. Pew! Alright, so this is a pretty simple quest. It's one of the few quests that I break breakables in because they're all just right here. Easy, ready to go. If you're ranged, which I happen to be, I like to kind of hang out here in this facility. Kind of gives me a pretty reasonable vantage point. Then every once in a while we'll have to send Ellery to go heal Rance here, because we would like to get this extra experience of keeping Rance alive. But overall this quest, it's a lot of sit around waiting and then 15-20 seconds of pew 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 action. You know, pretty standard protection quest, really. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of tips or tricks or anything for it. What I can say about this quest is that they recently, I think this might be the second year, that they've kind of tweaked it to make a Halloween quest out of it as well. So get used to running this quest, the Maybar quest, I guess technically. All right, as he walks up within Ellery's range, we're gonna have Ellery top him off. Get them hit points back up. So the reason we summoned her is because these NPCs are definitely going to take some damage. We just want to make sure everybody stays topped off here just a little bit. With this level came a pretty big power jump for our character, for those of you who are interested. We were able to take both the Eldritch Knight Spell Sword tree, which does a couple of really interesting and cool things for us. That doesn't really matter for the build per se, but it will make our life easier going forward in a few other quests. Basically, it gives all of our weapons Ghost Touch. If you read that, basically that second to last line down there, it says why this feat is enabled. Your weapon and shield attacks have Ghost Touch. That's really important for fighting Reapers and of course other ghosts. And then now we picked up Law on our side, so we have the 1d8 Law damage, and that makes a pretty big amount of damage difference there. Let me check on Rance's life total. It looks okay. Alright, bad guys should pretty quickly here be transitioning to 100% up top. Looks like we have at least one more wave down here. Next. After a few waves, I want to say around 5-ish, they'll primarily switch to up top. Won't be any more down bottom, and then you can kind of shift your focus. Although we're in plenty good shape here. NPCs ran off, I suspect. Oh, no. Just doing her job, gardener man. just one guy. Seems so odd. Just constantly spamming know the angles to make sure it's running. Feel like it's in my blood to miss it. Invite should be coming up here pretty quick. It'll spawn as 2 dogs and a big red name falling from the sky right here. Oh, that wasn't it. Thought maybe we're there. I think we're pretty close to crossing that threshold. Go. Easy peasy, beautiful cover girl. This chest comes from protecting Rance, I believe. It's been such a long time since I've let Rance die. I could be incorrect, but I think if he dies, no goodies. Fun fact, 1,000,000 years ago, when the original Cannith Crafting came out, everything was not bound to character unless they were already bound to character. So, account. So only items that were already pre-bound to account could be left bound to account and be made into bound to account items. What is kind of interesting is that those items primarily came from this quest chain. So if you wanted like a bound to account ring, you ran this quest chain until you got a bound to account ring. Same thing for gloves or boots or whatever. Just was the way that it happened to be. Across the room, you see there are some other areas of the game where you could also get those things, but this was definitely the go-to place for a lot of these kind of items. You'll notice that there'll be some levers and such. You gotta pull those things. I like using the hireling to pull one, and then I can go with the other one whenever possible. Just kind of speeds up the work a little bit. Of course, if you have 2 hands make less work. 3 hands make even less work, allegedly. Alright, you'll notice that there's a series of spike traps here. Trap box is right about there. Wait for the traps to go up, run across the room, search it on out. Good to go. If you can't search it out, again, it's the same basic plan. You run over here, the traps are up, open the lever. Here we go. You can actually get both versions of this quest, I believe. This door could be open or this door could be open. Just look for whichever way the door's open. Typically. No, full of lies. Full of lies. Guess look for the lever. I don't know, I almost never get this side, so I'm not 1,000,000% sure. Just always end up having to go the other way. You're going to notice these little barrel casts here. You want to click those. That'll open the door. It's a lever.
The strong room door is locked securely. You can break it down, but a stealthy entrance would make your mission easy.
I see a stealthy entrance. Ignore just popping boxes. Don't know if we can actually get the bonus when we go this way. So we'll learn together, won't we? I don't want up there. I just want to activate this barrel, please. A few extra experience points. Everything's blowed up.
The illegal money laundering at the Shiny Shilling has been dealt with.
Yeah, we didn't get it the bonus.
It demonstrates the folly of associating with a Sharn Syndicate.
So sad. Right. The next bank is over. Next bank. Next quest is over in the bank. There's a trick to that quest depending on whether or not you want which experience bonuses you'd like to get. I'll show you the way that I keep forgetting that this thing takes me off my horse. Oh, we should do that quest sometime soon too. A lot of people don't know about that quest or know how to do that quest. Alright. So because we went on a Reaper mode, that means we have to get 10 kills before we finish the quest. The real secret is to be slow. What does that mean? I'll show you. I'll show you what that means.
Zircon proceeds through the door to the inner vault. This Warforged must have impressive connections to walk into a house of Kundarek vault so blithely.
Alright. So basically, we're going to get locked in here. Right? We're going to get locked in here, and we're going to have to break these two big old Caneth crystals to get out. Now, the trick is going to be, they will each count for 2 of our kills. Okay? But there's going to be waves of little robot dogs that come in here. So we're going to be slowly waiting to get 4 waves. 4 times 2 is 8. And then these 2 crystals will give us the rest of our kills. And then resist opening the deposit boxes. All these little deposit boxes can be opened. For the most part, they're not particularly valuable inside. If you'd like to get a wedding ring for role-playing purposes, this is the easiest place to get one. As far as I know. But short of that, there's not really any valuables in here. There is another optional that comes in this quest.
House Kundarak uses only the finest Caneth crystals.
It'll take you to like a inside of a extra dimensional hole. It's actually been such a long time since I've done that part of the quest. I don't actually know what goes on inside there. When not opening the deposit boxes, it just gives you experience. Feels like a pretty easy way to avoid extra hassle. Alright, we'll put her NPC over here. And now we'll not help her until we get all of our kills. Should be getting pretty close. One more wave, I think, will do us right. This is 8, so yeah, one more. Now, things will continue to spawn back here, even after we leave. But we're going to go ahead and put our NPC on passive mode. And the reason why is because when we leave here, we're going to want to be very careful not to kill any bad men. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
It seems the bank alarm has drawn the city guard. Will you need to kill these guards in order to escape?
So to get out, we have to pull these two levers. Lever on this side, there's a lever on the other side. I have found that if you're very quick and you're good at jumping and hitting the U button, you can get these levers pulled by yourself. However, if there's like a nasty champ or don't reroll. Nasty champ or a reaper in here, it can get really tricky. And what you want to do then is take your hireling, summon it inside that circle, get out, let the hireling pull the levers, and you can just like distract the other monsters in here. It's pretty not complicated per se, but it's a weird one. If you don't have any nasty champs, you don't have any reapers, it's pretty straightforward. Invisibility also works okay. Not great because it will get broken when you pull the lever. Yeah, none of that's particularly amazing to Rizia Ice Games up. Should be happening kind of soonish. Again, not to timestamp the videos, but it's always good to keep an eye out for low level items, particularly Vorpals and stuff like that when you're playing around in the low level games. Here's the Bookbinder Rescue. You can go in on the ground floor or you can go in upstairs right here. I tend to go in on the ground floor. I just, for whatever reason, I feel like it's easier for me, but teach their own. Huh, so strange. Didn't feel like I had used the NPC fighter all that long. Crack skulls. I mentioned I was bad at remembering to hit this, know the angles right. Need to get in the habit. It is a lot of extra damage for us. The low price of remembering to hit a button. This quest used to have a fail condition of letting any of the family members die, which actually made this quest the toughest of the chain. They changed it recently to where that's not so much a problem, so that's quite nice. They also made a few other changes that really make this quest helpful, or that are quite helpful, and then I just screwed up. So these doors are breakable now. Okay, looks like even though I broke that door down, it's not really open. Alright. So if you stand in the right spots, you don't have to search a whole bunch. So I'm going to run up against this wall. And that's searched out over here. That's searched out behind us. I searched out over here. Should have searched out over here. Odd. Should have got that one too. I'm going to run back over here and get this one before I forget. And then run over here and I'll grab these ones. Alright, so the big change that I was talking about is that you used to be able to break these doors down before you open the lock with like a fireball type effect, but then after you unlocked them, you had to pick the lock. Now you can fireball them. Apparently after you pick the locks, but not before you pick the locks. Instead, you just get a broken animation. It's pretty awesome. All right. Charge this secret door. Okay, we got 2 benders in here. They look good to go. Come with me if you want to live. Come with me if you want to live. We'll go back through the back way. I don't know, call me paranoid, but in and out the way we already know is all good, is the best way.
Binder leaves the house and is now safely out of the Sharn Syndicate's grasp.
Okay, so those 2 doors are under control. Let's remember to do this. No one here.
You hear struggling from the inside. This plucky elderly woman looks like she's giving the Sharn Syndicate a hard time.
Okay.
She must be the matriarch of the Binder family.
Grandma's all good.
You hear struggling. You found the last hostage. It's time to get all of them out of the house quickly.
Grandma shot all the way down the road, so we're not as worried about it. Part of the reason that we worry about the benders is that they like to get in fights. So if there's a fight somewhere nearby and they hear it, they'll run into danger. But on that side of the building, we'd already cleaned it out, so no big. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. So I just gotta wait for the ladies to leave, and we'll get our last.
Binder is now safe, out of the reach of these vials. The anger on
There we go.
Binder's face
Easy peasy.
shows that she deeply wishes to fight the Sharn Syndicate, but her loved ones need her more. So Althea leaves the Binder home.
Alright, this quest right up here is the quest that I like to call the jumping on the bed quest, and the reason is pretty obvious. There's a couple of beds on it, and I love to jump on beds. What can I say? I'm a child at heart. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Right, we gotta find the Frisco, the Risco, the Bobisco.
All the more for you to smash while searching for the Stormreaver's Fresco.
And we're really unhappy that this guy's got some dollar bills, so we're gonna break his stuff. Basically. Personally, I feel like real adventurers would just loot everything, but whatever, it's fine. Alright, we're going to start off by running in here and jumping on this bed. Looting all of his treasure. Ooh, yeah. I love it. Alright, if you don't already know, this is a clue for later on, so like yellow candy cane. That's what I like to call that particular sigil, but not really necessary for this quest. You do these quests a few 50 times, you kind of learn shortcuts. Oh, there's the blue one. Blue would be a gun. You pick up a couple of shortcuts. In this case, we're going to turn these levers 4 times each. Oh yeah, jumping on the bed. My mama said, alright, you're going to break my head if I don't quit jumping on that bed. Alright. I don't know, it feels so fancy free. I really feel like they should give you a jump every time you jump on the bed. It should be real short, like 20 seconds or something, but still, I think it would be flavorful. Alright, so we have 2 rune wheels. Again, we know that this one happens to be gun, and this one happens to be candy cane, but we also know that they're 4 turns a piece. And then once we have turned them, we can look in this fancy mirror at the quest. What? Secret door. Alright.
Followed by the scrapes of a heavy panel being opened.
This is one of the trickier quests in the game here. The reason why it's tricky is you definitely need to have somebody with rogue skills. If you do not, you could have someone with a super high dexterity or reflex save. Reflex save, and often involves having a high dexterity and like evasion. So I came in here last life with my my high dexterity monk build, and I was able to pick up all these. I just wanted to experiment and see if I could pick them up without worrying about it. Even that character ended up failing a couple of these saving throws and taking lots of damages. So when you lift up these items, if you have not disabled the traps, they make big boom. The actual one item that you need to open this door back here where the final boss is at is not trapped. And supposedly you can like examine this thing, and if your score is high enough, it'll let you know that it's trapped or not trapped. See, we're intelligence based. You can clearly see the trap. See, it like tells you things. In this case, we're gonna take them because I disabled all the traps already. I don't know if it's always the same item or if it dances around. It feels like it dances around. But there's extra experience for picking them all up as well as disabling. So you might as well. And we get our revenge on this guy for leaving us in a bank vault with an alarm going off. Such a robot weenie. That give us not bad. Not great, not bad. Go back this way. Alright, capstone quest. Come out and slay. This quest has a couple of tricky points in it. Nothing too bad, but we'll kind of talk about them as they come around. There are a series of bad men in here. There's one down here. There's one in each of these doorways. That one happens to be a demon soul. And then there's that big minotaur. You can see him walking around there in the back. We're going to go over here to the kobold in the pool. He's nothing special. But we're going to pay him some gold and tell him to come with us and be a helper. Unfortunately, we can only bribe the first guy. If we could bribe more guys, I would take them all, but I can't. Okay, buff it up. The reason I always pick the kobold, one, obviously as a caster he deals a tremendous amount of damage, But at the same time, because he is a caster and a kobold, you'll notice that he doesn't have that many hit points. He's already taken a bunch of damage, which means when the time comes, it's easy to kill. Now, we can't do any damage to him, but we can get him to pull aggro on some of these sweet other bosses. And while he's cleaning up that mess, actually really like getting the Minotaur and the Kobold to fight. They typically have a pretty good love-hate relationship here. Come on, Kobold. Start attacking. Get knocked down here left and right. Alright, am I going to have to just do this? Here he goes. Alright, now that he's got that under control. Now the reason we want to get him killed here is that you can loot each of these guys' chest after they're dead. But if, like, the kobold you purchase or intimidate or whatever into helping you, you can't loot his chest until after he runs out of hit points. Same thing with, like, this guy. So as long as this kobold is alive, we can't get his chest. But once he's passed, we can get his chest. So we're gonna let him fight that Minotaur. He and that Minotaur should go to town for another little bit here, and then we can scoop up the leftovers. A couple of dogs by that fire that we can avoid. Did you win? Doesn't sound like you won. It sounds like you left. Yeah, where are you, Kobold? Alright, seems like that kobold doesn't want to be a helper.
With a final snort, you find a small chest key clutched in its fist.
Don't know where he went. He ran off to fight the dogs. Oh, he died to the dogs. That's great. Now the dogs got something to eat. They're going to go back to bed. We can just get rid of this and eat this chest. Worked out quite fortunately for us. So a couple more little ambushes on this hallway. One right here. Oh, decided to be real bad, didn't it? Plague Reaper and a Carnage Reaper. Shield spread just wore off. Oh, there you are. Ninja. This is a really good spot for hirelings to help pull levers. There's two here, and then we'll have to pull a couple of levers in the other room. Again, I just always prefer having the hirelings do any extra lever pulling. Particularly when I'm going to be like jumping around and doing other nonsense.
made it out of the mansion, but the alleyways are still teeming with gang members.
Right, so this is the other kind of like tricky spot in the quest.
Gates on either side.
It might actually be the most dangerous part. So up here you'll see this chest. Once we pull this lever down here on the bottom, there's some mobs that are going to spawn up there, including a caster. Oh, we're not going to get to see it. It may not spawn until this lever is pulled, actually. But that caster is real. Nope, they're up there. Caster's real nasty. Here he is. He will neg level like crazy. That was a real big blast. Again, I prefer shooting him from down here if at all possible. It's just bad news.
You may be able to find a path to freedom up here on the rooftops.
Right, there is a ton of breakables right here. I have not broken a lot of stuff so far in this quest. I don't know what the breakable numbers are. I don't know where... I don't know that much about the breakables in this quest, I guess, is long story short. There's a couple more. There's always a prowler over there that we can't reach. Unless we run across the sides. Now, let me up here. Nope. Didn't want to today. Alright, fairly well then. Now, all we really have to do is kill one NPC down here, the champ, and then stand inside this big circle. Doesn't have to be for very long. But I want to try to show off a move here. I don't know if I can because apparently I'm not allowed to stand on this today. There we go. Alright. So if you... a little bit of feather fall, a little bit of speed, and a reasonable jump, you can actually jump over to this and then shoot rain death down upon all these guys. Apparently I do not have the luck, speed, or feather fall today. It's not a big deal though, we'll get him. What? No fragmentes? So we just gotta run inside the circle. We can walk out this door and leave. Pretty simple.
You've successfully escaped the tenements.
Here we go. Alright, let's go check out our awesome nicked loot here. We'll call it a video. That was, again, this is the Sharn Syndicate chain. And if you enjoyed watching this or you learned something, please consider liking the video. Also, don't forget that these are part of my twitch.tv live streams generally. So you can go over and watch live twitch.tv/SamiusGrovo. We got a couple of good ones. A couple of real good ones, actually. Wow, like all of them are good. Alright, we got the Nicked Orb. The Nicked Orb is excellent for the level. If you don't have a Nicked Orb and you're looking at playing some sort of caster, you might consider grabbing it. The Nicked Heavy Mace is excellent for beating undead in particular. Level 2, it's 2d6 force damage. It also has Deadly 3. So you're talking about, and it's plus 2, so you're talking 5, 6, 7 minimum damage. So it's pretty reasonable. The comma is, it's fine. Tendon Slice is good. If you're doing a throwing build, at level 2 for some reason, because you're crazy, it would be worth picking up. The Light Hammer, same reasons as the Heavy Mace, is good. The Nicked Bow, excellent ranged weapon. The Repeating Crossbow actually would have been really good for this life at level 2. Had I taken the time to dig one up. The Scimitar and the Short Sword are both great offhand weapons for 2-weapon fighting builds. I like the Scimitar quite a bit. And the Quarterstaff is a general all-around good weapon for like wizards, sorcerers, stuff like that, who just need a melee weapon every once in a while to augment their spell casting. So, pretty good selection here. I'm probably going to pass on these because I actually think I have all of these sitting around somewhere waiting for a life where I need one. Instead, I'm just going to take the Rogue Deeds. But I highly recommend you pick up a set and keep them somewhere for your TRs in the future. Everybody, with that, I hope you had a great time. I hope these made a lot of sense to you. Again, this was Sharn Syndicate, and we'll see you soon. Toodles.